What is up, everybody? This is your boy Steve at Vast Motorsports. I put together a little video on the 2000 Harley Fat Boy that was in Hurricane Ian floodwaters for actually 5 days. It was completely submerged underwater and over 8 feet. Didn't think it was ever going to run again. You know, it seemed like it destroyed it, and it pretty much was destroyed, but I don't go for that. I like to bring things back to life. So hopefully you enjoy it and stick around and check out the video, and let's see how she turns out, if I can do it or not. And I got a little clip here, or a screenshot of another video of when I first brought the bike home from Florida and I washed it up and stuff, and that's going to be this video here if you want to watch it and check that out. But again, this video is going to be picking up where that one left off, and just hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please give me a thumbs up. Trying to get the little channel to grow, so any help is greatly appreciated. And those of you that are already subscribers, thank you for hanging out, checking out, and helping the channel grow. So I got a couple pictures here of when we first discovered the bike, when we went down and was able to actually go in the park. And this is the shed and stuff we found it in, and this is a shot or two of the actual park itself when it was underwater. The circled spot is where our RV was, and the bike was parked in the shed next door to that. And everything down there was completely ruined in that park. Thank God we had insurance, so I came out all right, and I decided to go ahead and keep the bike too. But anyway, stick around and check the video out. Alright, so it's going from looking like this to looking like this. So I'm pretty sure I can work with that. Alright, I know it's been a little too long, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on this upper end here. Or actually, I would have just cut the push rods and put the adjustable push rods in, because I need to go ahead and do the, I'm going to take the cam plate off here and change my little tensioner feet, or little tensioner pads, shoes. So also, I've always had a little tick in the top here that I didn't like. So I'm going to try a set of the rocker lockers. So I'm just going to go ahead and bust all these loose for these rocker covers. Well, I lifted it up out of the actual rocker box, and then it'll just lift right out like this. Now I can change the filter or whatever's in there. I'm going to set that over to the side. Of course, I'm keeping all my bolts that are coming out of these assemblies in a box. I'm keeping everything separate and labeled. Here goes everything that's been sitting around since last year. It's been over a year now, but I've still got everything sitting here. This is most of my new parts, my new gaskets and all for the primary. But I do add the stuff labeled and in bags, and that way I don't forget what everything was. This is the carb side of the motor, the cam plate. So anyway, just keep track of what you're doing with stuff, especially if you're bad like me. I'm always getting into different projects. I can only stay on one thing about a week or two. Now, this should have been just a week job, and you can have it done. Some people are like, a week? What the hell are you talking about? For me, a week, just because I was wanting to do so much to it. Like I said, it was in the flood, so I don't come out here and work on 8 or 10 hours a day or anything like that. You know, I just screw around with it here and there. But I'm the type, I got a short attention span, and so I'm into different projects all the time. I get burned out on one thing after I'm working on it for a while, and then I come back to it later. Could be weeks, could be months, could be years, but I always get it done. But anyway, this one, you know, the other thing is, it's not making me any money. This is my personal bike, so it just kind of got put on the back burner. And again, now that I'm tearing into all this and seeing, it's almost one of them I kind of wish I didn't tear into it. But I need to go ahead and see so I know in my mind. And like I said, I always wanted to do the rocker locker kit to it. Never wanted to tear into it because it was running so good and riding good. But I was always worried about these little tensioner shoes. And the one on the back, I picked it up and looked at it. It looks like it's wore worse. So I just want to do them. And that way, got my 3/16 Allen wrench. I'm going to go around and start breaking these loose and go ahead and pull this cam plate out. All right, so I do got to go ahead and knock these bolts off real quick and take the timing chain assembly off before I can take all those out. Look at that water. Water just pouring out. Wow. Well, that sucks. More water. It must have been inside where the oil pump pulls the oil through or something, because when I popped this plate out, oh man, it just started pouring out. All right, you're supposed to do this with the lifters before you pull the plate off so the lifters don't fall down into the casing here. They don't actually fall all the way out of the bore, but they drop down pretty far, plus it makes it a pain to get it past the lobes of the cam. So anyway, like I say, I'm not going in a lot of detail. There are other videos, but there's one guy I like in particular. I'm going to give him a shout out and a mention on here. I think it's Death Proof Productions, if I ain't mistaken. And he's got some really detailed videos. Says he was a Harley mechanic for a number of years. And I just really like his in-depth, simple, very simple, and quick gets to it type videos. He shows this trick on there. He says it's actually in the Harley manual. But as you can see, you just take these off of those big black paper clip type things, folder clips, and grind the ends down a little. I took pliers and bent mine at a little better angle. I don't know if you're supposed to, but that's what I had to do. So I've got this set in. I'm going to push these back up into the bores here where they go. Get these hooked. So just stick it in like that. Get it right under the edge. And it'll kind of hold it there. Now I'm going to have to give this one a little spread, get a little more tension on it there. And that's that. I noticed I was trying to clean out in here, and when I'm blowing in here with the hose, it is blowing so much water out. I had to go get something to catch it all. It's just making such a... Alright, so I just press the cams out so I can go ahead and relieve the tension on this one, take the snap ring off, get this shoe off. Already done the shoe and the other tensioner. Got my dad here helping out today. What's up, Dad? Hey. Alright. Right, so I've got all my rocker assemblies torqued on both heads. Now it's time for the valve cover or a rocker box cover, but I always like to take a little brake clean on my rag and just hit these surfaces. Even though they are very clean, I don't want any oil residue or anything on it. Cover over. Now see, everything's still dirty on the outside. The inside is clean. Thankfully the motor looks great inside. But I'm going to leave all this on the outside. I'm not worried about it right now. What I mainly want to do is get the motor all sealed up once I get the carb and all back on. Then I'm going to take it outside and wash everything really good, because as you see at the beginning of the video, when I first got the bike back, the first thing I did was cleaned it. But I could not get up in certain areas because the way the bike was completely built. And I just don't like that film. I don't care if you can see it when the bike's put together or not. I know it's there. I want it to be as close to perfect or show value as it can be. So, like I said, I'll take it outside and clean every inch of everything. I don't care if you'll see it when it's together or not. It has to be. Alright, so I came back out this evening just for a little bit. Like I said, I don't stay on it all the time. I just got to working on it last night. Got it pretty buttoned up on the engine anyway. I've got all the top end together, carburetors on, throttle cables and everything's hooked up. Motor part is together. I'm happy with that. I still have to do the primary on the other side, but the starter gear is something else I have to undo, because I want to replace this starter. I'll show you up in here. See all that rust and stuff on it? And that's the main starter wire coming from the battery. If I lift that boot up right there, it is burnt black and so rusted. I just don't trust the starter anymore. The starter did work a year and a half ago, shortly after the flood. It was underwater 5 days, don't forget, folks. And the battery was hooked up, and that's another reason it got so burnt and stuff. What it did was, the main positive up here, it had this thing burnt black, and as you can see, there's still a lot of corrosion, green and all growing down in there, even though I took a wire brush and cleaned this, because I had to clean the battery itself too. The terminal positive was just roasted black, and the battery was completely dead. So I cleaned off the terminal, charged the battery up, and I got the bike to spin over and stuff. I just wanted to check and make sure that, you know, once I got it back from the insurance, that it was even going to run or whatever, and I sprayed the starting fluid in it and got it to boom, 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 boom. So I knew, you know, after I blew all the water out of the cylinders and all, I put the plugs back in after I seen they were firing. So I felt pretty good with that. But I can't believe the battery actually took a charge. I've been using it around the shop the last year and a half. Whenever I want to test something 12 volt, I'll use it. Matter of fact, I took it, and this is my 08 Jackpot Victory that I just picked up about 2 weeks ago or something. I went all the way up to Virginia to get this baby. I've got a full video on that too. Buying a Victory in 2024 is a smart move. So check that one out. But anyway, the battery was dead because this one's been sitting for quite a few years in the garage there. And I took the battery out of the Harley. It's the same exact 20 group. Took it up there and fired the bike right up. I've been riding the bike all around and stuff. Man, I love that fat booty on this thing. That's got the big 250 rear tire on it. I'm loving my Jackpot here, folks. First Victory I ever owned. But I want my Harley running. I love my Harley. Need her going. So, plus I love rescuing things. The Jackpot didn't need nothing. They garage kept it since brand new, and it's beautiful. This one here, we're having to restore. So I went ahead and picked up another battery cable. This one's in really nice shape. I got this on eBay for like $9 shipped to me. So it's a factory out of a used Harley with no problems. So now we are going to change the starter, and it's a pain in the butt. I'm going to tell you, it's an awful stupid damn design, man. Oh yeah, I got it. See, now I can drop that down, and we should have some stuff exposed here. Oh, yeah, that circuit breaker ain't looking too good either, folks. Good thing I took this off. Yeah, I'm not riding with that. I'm going to have to replace that. It may start it right now, and it may run and all that good stuff, but I do not trust that. I'm not going to leave that. It'll leave me on the road somewhere one day. I'm not going to have it. So anyway, I got to look up in there. I'm not sure if it's the 2 big bolts I got to undo or not, but y'all stick around. Alright, so I finally got the starter exposed. Yay! See, now stuff like that looks good and clean. I'm going to go around here and undo all these connectors. Even though I undone them when I first got it home and blew them all out, I'm going to spray them with contact cleaner and blow them out before I plug them all back in. Got to bust these 2 bolts loose. Undo the gear on the other side, and let's get this starter out. Water outside. Gonna do a little cleanup. Like I said, I just want to get all this nastiness off. Get in here in these areas that you just can't get when the bike is built together. I want to be able to get all this down in here. And let's get her cleaned up. Main thing is, like I said, I can't get in here when the bike is together, and I don't like all that grease buildup and whatever. Same with up in here and all. This has a bunch of big chrome. This bike has almost everything you could put on a chrome, so it's covering all this kind of stuff. I want it clean. Alright, so why didn't the sun go in while I was washing it? Thanks a lot, son. But anyway, I went ahead and cleaned her on up. I think she cleans up pretty nice, man. And I took the old crappy chamois. I got all this clean. Even took the toothbrush and got in these spots here. Covered up my, of course, covered the carburetor. The exhaust is packed full, and my oil lines here, I got them stuffed. But probably take the air hose and blow the rest of this off real quick. And but I feel pretty good. She's looking pretty nice. All right, folks, she is coming together. Hopefully she will be running soon. Putting this in all 3 holes just to run it, make sure everything is good, drive it up the street one time probably, and then I'm flushing it all out, putting the right stuff in. This is perfectly fine. It's 2050, it's Castrol, it's good for the clutches, won't hurt anything, it's good for the trans, everything will be fine. I just want to rinse. I know it's got residue and stuff in there and a little milkiness somewhere in the motor. A little water probably. Just want to run it through. I'm not spending 80 bucks on the oil change until I get everything flushed. Alright, first time hooking the battery up, turning the key in a 1.5 years. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got power. Got turn signals. I see the brake light on. Let me cut this. I had this little tie strap here on the brake lever, front brake, while I was moving the lift table around the garage. I didn't want it trying to move, so. All right. So everything's looking good so far. Let me go ahead and get the, let's get some gas in the carburetor and see if we can fire her up, y'all. I've been waiting on this for a while. Woo! All right, so I just got me a little water bottle here rigged up for the fuel. I think it filled up the carburetor there. Let's give it a try and see. It let a bunch of bubbles on through. Here goes everything, y'all. It's not what I wanted to see or hear. Let me pull one of these plugs, make sure she's firing. Almost sounds like the timing might be off. Sure is spinning fast. Then again, it's a new starter. Alright, plugs are firing. I poured just a little shot of gas down in the cylinders. Let's see what happens. That's a good sign there. Let me put this bottle back on here. That's what I had to use to pour the gas in there. Let's let that carburetor fill back up. Now, it did take it a minute to stop making noise on the top end, and I was watching the oil light, but it did go ahead and finally quiet down some. It's still making a little noise up top I didn't like, but that's the initial first dry start. So let me double check this oil now. Yeah, it already milked it up a little bit. See if we can get her to fire again, y'all. As soon as I let off the choke, it died. All right, folks, the day has come. I can't believe I let my baby sit for a year and a half or more without messing with it. But about 2 weeks ago, I finally got that kick in the butt. I rode my buddy Lee's Victory Vegas, and it's the NES edition. Thanks a lot, Lee, because you got me in the kick. I wound up buying a Victory. I got the jackpot version of the Vegas. I like it because the big fat wheel, but at the same time it had me wanting to go ahead and get the Harley going. I mean, tired of it sitting in the back of the shop there. So wish me luck. Here we go. I did take it for a little ride up and down the street last night. It was getting kind of late, but I couldn't help myself. I had to at least just go right here, and now I got to do it again, and then we're going to close the video out. But let's see how she does today. Man, I'll tell you what, I am so glad to see this little project done. I think she turned out pretty good, y'all. I hope you would agree. How about leave me some comments? Let's see what you think about the hurricane-stricken Harley and how she came back to life. I know she has a salvage title now, but that's all right with me. I really didn't plan on getting rid of her or anything, you know, she's mine. She can stick around. What I like about the Harley setup is they're so easy to customize to your own likings. I've got 3 different seat setups. This is the small sporty one. I got a nice sundowner that goes in between this, and then I got the big fat seat, kind of like in the picture at the beginning that I showed when it was before the flood, because I had it decked out for me and the wife to be riding. She likes the big fat seat on the back. Got the big backrest. Everything is real quick with these. I like, you know, the jackpot in there. I love the bike, but it's a lot trickier to change the seats and this and that. These seats, I don't have the little piece on here. It's down there on one of them other seats, but all you do is undo one little screw and the seat slides right on and off. I don't have my pegs on here yet for they're in the side saddle bags down there, but I've got a set of bags for it. The whole backrest and luggage rack is all quick release. You just pop it right on. So simple. And the Victory, you have to bolt everything on and off. It's a real pain in the butt. This thing, I can change the looks of it in 3 or 4 minutes. Easy. Just pop the luggage rack on and off, change seats. I got the big windshield and everything that it uses these quick connect adapters here. And then the good thing is they don't even look that bad, you know, when it's not on here. They're not that bad looking, but it's a real quick release windshield now. So anyway, thanks if you stuck around through the video this long to check out my build on the bike, or restore, or saving, or whatever you want to call it. All I know is she was underwater 5 days. It was completely totaled. Would have been going to the scrap yard to Co-Parts or whatever to be sold for parts or whatever. I'm glad. I'm not a Harley technician. I'm not a motorcycle technician. I'm just good with my hands, y'all. I can pretty much do anything. If you watch the channel, you'll see that's just a little fraction of what I do. I can't videotape everything I do, but that's why I started the channel. You know, is because I used to fix so much stuff around here in my garage. I'd be like, man, nobody gets to see any of this. So I started making videos. And like I said, the videos I put on is only a little fraction of what I actually get to do. I don't have time to always make videos of it. But this one, I wanted to make a video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I hope you're going to pick up and subscribe now. And if you like what you've seen, at least give me a thumbs up on this one. I'm trying to get the little channel to grow. And as I always say around here at my Vast Motorsports, you never know what we're going to be getting into. It could be bikes, cars, trucks, boats. Maybe I'm shooting guns, doing a little review. Maybe I'm working on a golf cart today. I don't know. It could be anything. Maybe we're going to the lake and having fun on the boat. Maybe we're in Florida jumping down the ICW, jumping from island to island, checking out beaches. Just always something different, folks. I don't want to get into the same old thing, making a boring channel. Y'all have a blessed day.